In 2010, every major TV brand shipped 3D sets to roughly 100 million homes. 5 years later, they'd quietly deleted the feature. It's one of the fastest mass-market tech deaths ever. This wasn't one company's flop. Samsung, LG, Sony, Panasonic. Everyone bet the premium tier on 3D at the same moment. Then the whole industry quietly deleted it together. Understanding why is a clean X-ray of how a tech hype cycle collapses. Start with the spark. In 2009, Avatar made 3D look like a money printer. About $2.7 billion at the box office, and much of it from higher-priced 3D tickets. TV makers watched and thought, bring that home. At the CES 2010 electronics show, nearly every brand announced a 3D TV within days of each other. The pitch was simple. You upgraded to HD. You upgraded to a flat panel. Now upgrade to 3D, the next must-have. And it carried a price premium, a few $100s over a normal set. On paper, it was the perfect next step, a visible, sellable feature you could demo on a showroom floor. Movies proved the appetite. The hardware was ready. The marketing wrote itself. But here's the crack that would swallow the whole thing. A crowded cinema choosing to see one blockbuster in 3D is a very different animal from your living room on a random Tuesday night. That gap is where it starts to fall apart. Now the machinery. Making a TV show depth meant sending each eye a slightly different picture, and there were two ways to pull that off. The first used glasses with tiny shutters that blink, one lens dark while the other sees, snapping back and forth faster than you notice. The screen flips between a left eye and a right eye frame in sync. Those glasses had a battery, so they were heavy, they flickered, and they cost $50 to $150 a pair. The second way used cheap polarized glasses, the kind cinemas hand out. Lighter, no battery, but this method split the screen's lines between your eyes, so each eye got half the vertical detail. A sharper picture or a comfy pair of glasses, pick one. And here's the tax nobody warned buyers about. Brands didn't agree on a standard. One company's glasses often wouldn't work on another company's TV. Buy the wrong pair, own a useless pair. Two rival methods, zero cross-compatibility. That's a lot of friction before you've watched a single minute. Here's where it gets personal. Cinema glasses are fine. You wear them for 2 hours, hand them back, done. A living room isn't a cinema. Nobody wants to find, clean, and strap on glasses to half-watch the news. And for a real share of viewers, the effect physically hurt. Eye strain, headaches, some genuine nausea after a while, because your eyes were being tricked in a way real depth never asks of them. That trick is the whole product. Then the social math. A family of 4 needs 4 pairs. Friends come over, where are the spare pairs? You glance down at your phone and the illusion breaks. Look back up and everything's doubled until your eyes readjust. TV is a casual, glance-away, talk-over it medium. 3D demanded the opposite. Sit still, face forward, gear on, do not look away. It fought how people actually watch television. The feature worked, and watching that way just wasn't something anyone wanted to do at home. So mostly they didn't. But discomfort you might push through if there were anything to watch. There wasn't. That's the quiet killer. Once the launch demos ended, the reason to put the glasses on simply evaporated. Broadcasters tried and backed out fast. ESPN launched a dedicated 3D channel in 2010 and shut it down by 2013. The BBC ran a 3D trial and suspended it. The other dedicated 3D channels folded one after another. Live 3D was expensive to film and almost nobody was tuning in. On disc, the 3D Blu-ray catalog stayed thin, a handful of blockbusters, not a library. Games technically supported it, but most players never switched it on. So you owned this premium feature, and week after week there was nothing new to point it at. The set could do the trick. The world just stopped making things worth the trick. A feature with no fuel doesn't fail loudly. It sits idle in the settings menu until you forget it's there. And when the next big upgrade showed up, forgetting got easy. Now the finishing blow. A new upgrade arrived that made 3D look pointless. 4K, 4 times the sharpness of HD. Here's why it won so cleanly. It gave brands the exact same wow on the showroom floor. A jaw-dropping picture you could see from the doorway, with none of 3D's baggage. No glasses, no syncing, no batteries, and crucially, no need to build a whole new content pipeline from scratch, because 4K was just more of what people already watched, only sharper. Manufacturers followed the easy story. They quietly moved the marketing dollars to 4K and high dynamic range, richer color and contrast, and let 3D slide off the flagship models. Then came the public timeline of deaths. Samsung and Sony dropped 3D from their 2016 TVs. LG, one of 3D's biggest champions, followed for 2017. And with the last big holdout gone, the format was simply over. No funeral, no announcement anyone noticed. The industry just stopped shipping it, the same way it had all started shipping it 6 years earlier. So why did it really die? Not any single flaw. 3D was pushed by manufacturers, not pulled by viewers. A slick answer to a question no one at home was asking. It solved a problem people didn't have, and every reason to skip it stacked. The glasses, the cost, the headaches, the empty catalog, the incompatible standards. Any one of those you could survive. All of them together with no strong reason to bother was fatal. That's the master lesson, and it's bigger than TVs. Hardware lives or dies on two things. Is there an ecosystem feeding it, and is there a daily reason to reach for it? 3D had neither. Then 4K walked in offering the identical showroom magic with zero friction, and everything people already love to watch. Given that choice, the industry didn't agonize. It just quietly closed the box on 3D and moved on. From 100 million homes to zero in about 5 years, a whole feature born and buried before most people finished paying it off. Which raises the obvious question, is VR the same story running again? A headset nobody quite reaches for? Or is it finally the immersive screen 3D TV was always trying to be? That's the next box.